Peng Shuai and Ivanovic. So let's join our commentators and say good morning to Karen Pratt and John Barrett.
Good morning, Joe, and thank you very much. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to you, Karen. Nice to be back in Sydney.
Oh, it's lovely to be in Sydney, and what a great field we've got here at Medibank International. 5 of the top 10 players in the world.
Absolutely, and it's always a wonderful start to the year here in sunny Sydney. You wouldn't have thought so yesterday and the day before when it was raining, but the skies are now clear, and I think the temperature is lower than it was last weekend. Thank God. Serbia, from Serbia and Montenegro, and we'll look first at her opponent. Peng Shuai, here she is, just 20 today, and ranked 42 in the world, coming from Hunan in China. There's her career prize money, 382,000, and a semi-final here last year and in San Diego. She had a pretty good year. She beat Miskina here as a qualifier, remember, lost to Molik, and she beat Dementieva and Kleisters in San Diego, where she reached the semi-final. Had a marvellous year.
Yes, it really was a good year for her. It was as high as 31 in the world back in August, making a bit of history, become the highest ranked player from China in tour history. And Anna Ivanovic is creating a few waves herself, only 18 years of age, ranked 21. And she won her first career title and only career title this time last year in Canberra as a qualifier. Came through that, also reached the quarter-final of the French Open, her big breakthrough on the Grand Slam stage, beating Amelie Mauresmo, the biggest win of her career yet, but she has been notching them up throughout the year. Really has taken the tour by storm.
Certainly that is true, and I hope we're going to see a fine match. In the chair from Germany, Roland Hertel. I think one of the more experienced gentlemen, and the officiating around the world these days very high with the professional umpires, and that happened, of course, many years ago now, but it's led to a very fine standard. And all sorts of exciting new things happening with Hawkeye. We saw that going on at the Hopman Cup, and I think it won't be long before it comes to Australia. I think Paul McNamee was talking about bringing it into the Australian Open next year for sure, and it's of course been approved by the International Tennis Federation as being accurate, so that's all very good. Also been very well received by the players, and the time taken between the calls is nice and quick. Ivanovic had wins over Kuznetsova and Zvonareva also last year, reached 5 quarter-finals. Very tall player, 6 foot, 1.83. Well, I've got to ask you this, the fact that Peng plays with 2 hands both sides, is that an advantage or a handicap? Well, the only way it's a handicap is with her reach, and it does restrict your reach when you've got the 2 hands both sides, but she does generate a lot of power and consistency with those double-handed strokes off the ground. She seems very comfortable, has grown up playing that way, and she's one of the players that you've got to say is poised to make a major breakthrough this year. She'll be looking to try and start the year very well here against Ivanovic. These two haven't met yet on the tour. And they'll know a bit about each other's games because they've certainly both seen each other around. But not often you get to start the year's tennis on your birthday. So let's hope it's a happy 20th birthday for Peng Shuai. Oh, she'd have happy memories from here last year, that's for sure. Semi-finalist. She it is who will start.
30-15.
As everybody comes here hoping to build that confidence without which nobody succeeds in this sport or in any other indeed, and these early matches are so vital to build that confidence.
Well, this is Peng's first outing for the year. Ivanovic has been here in Australia for quite some time.
Game, Ivanovic.
Well, that's a nice break of serve for Ivanovic, just what she was looking for.
His Anna's got family in Melbourne. An uncle lives there, loves to visit Melbourne, and came out well before Christmas and attended the Australian Open training camp, practiced with a number of the Australian players before heading over to Perth. So she's had some practice outdoors on the rebound ace, then went indoors over in Perth for Hopman Cup. And coming back out here into the sunshine, the outdoor arena, so a little bit of an adjustment to be made by her.
And now Ivanovic just
Also the big serve of Ivanovic, one of the major weapons in her game.
Used to be coached by Eric van Harpen, this girl. Now coached by Zoltan Kuharski.
Yes, although she's a resident of Belgrade, Anna spends a lot of time in Switzerland as well, training and practicing there.
Getting rhythm and timing is what everyone struggles for in the early stages of the season, and with it comes the confidence I spoke of just now.
Peng's certainly struggling with the timing out there now, having a look up at the sun as well.
That was such a short serve, I think it surprised her.
Perhaps. ball coming straight at the body of Ivanovic. Still not happy to miss the volley like that. Using the slice backhand there. He sees an opportunity to attack. Ball coming almost straight at her, but just not quick with the handwork.
Funny how players develop superstitions, as we see this lovely winner from Ivanovic. She bounces the ball the same number of times every time and won't step on the lines of the court, except, of course, in a rally when she's running. But it gets into a player's head, that sort of thing. Two good walloping forehands. So nice consolidation. Well, two of the better young players in the world making fast progress. Peng here has risen from 326 in 2003 to 73 in 04, and at the end of last year, 37. A bit below her best, which was 31. In August last year. But that's what you look for in youngsters, making steady progress year by year.
Ivanovic's has been not quite steady, meteoric, hasn't it?
Absolutely, her rise in the rankings, you mean?
Biggest jump in the rankings in 2004. She rose 608 places. It's a lovely flowing game, generates a lot of easy pace. Ground strokes, lovely preparation, and then good shoulder turn, body through the ball.
Taking advantage of the fact that her opponent here hasn't yet really relaxed. Still very tense. There is further evidence of it as she loses her second serve to give Ivanovic a 3-love lead first. Day one of the Medibank International here at Homebush, just full of expectation. The air is absolutely sort of buzzing with chat about the latest prospects. And in particular, the mouth-watering meeting tomorrow between Enin Arden, the 5th seed, and Martina Hingis. We'll be bringing you that, of course, live tomorrow. Extraordinary bad luck, that, for Enin Arden. Well, for both.
I think more for Justine. I think you're right. Martina's got the tournament under her belt last week at the Gold Coast, and quite nice form. I think Justine would be very worried about facing her first round here. She hasn't played for a few months, been out with an injury. Length. Shot here, I think Peng thought it was going long. Instead it dropped in. It's a good return, that angle that Peng gets on it. You'll see on the short ball, she'll be very quick to move up. good
it?
anticipation there from Peng too. She's not a player that... She's as good as she is. Ivanovic is impressive to watch. Peng is a quiet achiever. A style of game not quite so dynamic.
Well, we've talked about this lass's rapid rise up the rank. He's still only 18. What is it about those middle European players who seem to be such strong competitors? And, of course, the Russians, too. A whole raft of Russian lasses in the upper reaches of the game. And if you look at the ranking list, a break of serve there for Peng, much needed. But if you look down the ranking list, everybody's name ends in over.
Or Ovic. Well, I wish we knew what it was. I mean, obviously, it's a tremendous work ethic and desire to be the best and single-mindedness to achieve it.
Well, she looked a bit surprised, but I think it was long, all right. There he goes. Oh, yes, just long.
Very interesting to see that Peng is still listed as an amateur in the women's tennis guide. Chinese players all play under the national system and have to give a lot of their money back to support the Chinese system.
And she has actually won $382,000, though perhaps hasn't been able to keep much of it.
She has done her own thing a little more than some of the other Chinese players, though. She's based in Delray Beach, Florida. An article just last week saying that she wasn't happy with some of the training and would like to go out on her own a little bit more. Apparently she's been asked to sign a guarantee of pursuing a gold medal in 2008 for her country before she can turn pro.
But she's lost another serve. In fact, she has yet to hold serve as she trails 1-4 firstly. Well, shirts leave order here at the Sydney International Tennis Centre, scene of this year's Medibank International. A good lead here for Ana Ivanovic of Serbia and Montenegro, serving at 4-1.
30.
Because these two know who the winner will play. It will be Emily Mauresmo, the number 2 seed, because this takes place near the bottom, almost at the bottom of the draw, where Mauresmo sits with a bye. The 4 top speeds all getting byes. Kleisters, Mauresmo, Schneider and Petrov at the top 4.
Oh, Peng just really struggling to find her touch, the length.
Seconds.
Well, Karen, we were saying these two hadn't met before today. Now, when you haven't played anybody before and you're losing 1-4 and things are going, what do you do?
You're just trying to figure out what to do. Well, she'll be trying to just get her game going for a start. She's really not hitting the ball as cleanly as she'd like, I'm sure. Peng just hasn't found it.
But even the bread and butter shots seem to be flying out of court.
Ivanovic leads 5 games.
Well, Ivanovic certainly playing very nicely out there, but Peng just not staying in the points long enough to push her on anything, not testing her at the moment.
At the moment, the match is rather being lost by Peng, whose error count is climbing alarmingly. No surprise to discover that she's hit now 12 unforced errors.
Well, just by the look on her face, she's saying, I just can't take a trick out here. Normally that would be a shot that she'd just put away on the attack.
Ah, that's better. It was the forehand to the corner, though, that produced the chance for the winner. Lovely forcing drive, this one.
She got Ivanovic on the stretch, and that short ball had plenty of time to set up to put it away.
So Peng keeps the set alive, but it's 5-2 for Ivanovic. So the crowd really enjoying the pleasant summer weather here. After a couple of rainy days, we wondered whether we get started on time, but no fear of that. Ivanovic now trying to serve out this set, leading 5-2 with the new balls.
Well, the serve and the forehand, two of the major foundations in Ivanovic's very strong all-round game. And some nice touch too. It's quite an interesting story when she won the Canberra event first up last year. She'd come through the qualifying and beaten Melinda Zink in the final round of qualifying. So Zink was out, but then got in as a lucky loser into the main draw and made her way through to the final, where they had to play again, second time in the same tournament.
I think that's a record, isn't it?
It is. It's the only time it's happened. Oh,
Well, there's timing for you, using your opponent's pace.
14.
And you'll see it here. She takes it on the rise, steers it down the line. 3 set points. Well, you paid the penalty if you don't make that slice serve wider than that. It was right into the hitting zone. Still set point, though. And that does it nicely in just 26 minutes. Ivanovic takes the opening set, 6-2. So an ace to start set number 2. That the first ace of the day.
almost the same spot again. Angling it nicely out wide. Things settling in towards the end of that first set. It's a good one away here. It will build her confidence.
So a good start there for Peng. Rather better than the first set.
Yeah, she really did start very slowly, didn't seem to have any feel on the ball at all. And Ivanovic came out swinging rather freely on that forehand side. That's where she did a lot of the damage. It's beautiful rhythm through that shot. I just had Peng guessing the whole time. A little bit too much power for her early. Peng just didn't seem to be able to adjust to Ivanovic's game. Just always setting up those shorter balls, moving forward, dominating most of that first set.
Have a look at the stats here. The first serve percentage is very low for Ivanovic, but it didn't seem to make much difference. It was the unforced errors from Peng that were the real problem for her. They played. Not afraid to come in, I'm glad to see.
15, that is.
It's interesting the way the game is evolving, Karen. More and more of the women now are prepared to come in, where a year or so ago they would just stay at the baseline solidly.
Oh, superb placement. Yes, that's right. I think it's just the game taking one more step, because we've had just the explosion of great players from the back of the court hitting the ball just so much harder, and coming into the net and being willing to do so is just another point of difference.
One felt in the past that so good were some of those ground strokes that the ball came floating back just asking to be volleyed, and yet the player wouldn't have followed in the good ground stroke to take advantage of that.
Well, again, the game just getting stronger and stronger. Players just taking it further.
Now, whether she changed her mind or something, I'm not sure. But certainly very unhappy with this last one.
Well, something's fallen off a clip in the last point as well, so that's really annoying her.
Oh, it's probably the vibration dampener there on the throat of the racket. Did that fall off?
I don't think so. I think it was bigger. Maybe something from her hair even. Oh, and a lucky break going Peng's way. That's where Ivanovic has got to be very careful, because Peng in that first set was not playing her best, that's for certain, and now she's starting to get more confident, having won that first service game so convincingly.
Yes, she quit on the volley. And it's cost her her serve. 2-love for Peng.
And Peng really got a lot of balls back in that last point, making Ivanovic play the extra shot, and in the end getting the error. And Ivanovic just getting a little bit frustrated. And that's going to frustrate her even more.
Well, you've got to play your luck when it's going for you. A little shake of the head telling exactly how she feels about that miss hit.
Well, again, she didn't hit the backhand cleanly, but got away with it. Forehand, rather. I'm looking at her double-handed forehand. Beg your pardon?
That's right. Can be confusing at times. I mean, the only reason we call her a right-hander is that she serves right-handed.
40-30.
Well played. That's 3-love to Peng. Second set. Halfway through this second set, love 3. Ivanovic serving.
Love the way she takes that forehand, meets it so early. Short swing, quick eyes. Using the pace again, adding some. Ivanovic stepping up a gear here, stung by being love 3 down in this second set. Oh, beautifully played. Serve at the body and back in behind her opponent.
3-1 for Peng, second set. And this afternoon, don't forget to watch at 3:30 the final of the Next Generation Adelaide International between Xavier Melisse and Florence Serra. Belgium against France from Memorial Drive.
Well, after such a good opening service game in this set, the double faults here, taking a tally to 5 for the match. Be disappointed with it. Does a great job getting Ivanovic on the defensive here. And then with that higher ball, really rips over the top of it.
But it's these errors that are harming her cause. It is 3-2 now. Well, the confidence which she showed at the start of the set has evaporated like snow in the sun. It's melted away.
That's more like the game we saw from Peng last year when she made it through to the semi-finals here. Tremendously accurate with the two hands when she gets herself into position.
I wonder if she feels the pressure of that performance here last year. Perhaps, just a little. Certainly the error count is just horrible for her.
Yeah, and particularly for a player known for her consistency and accuracy.
Well, she's keeping on going for her shots, as you must, I think, but just missing the lines again. 3-all.
At least they're going after her shots and making errors only by a matter of centimetres, so maybe she'll find her range.
Just a question of bringing in the targets a little bit. Making it 1 foot inside the line instead of going for the line itself. Yes, dropping that far too short.
Don't know what happened there with Peng's shot. It's close the racket head over it, hitting into the court.
Nope. Called, I think, by umpire Herfel, not by the linesperson there.
And the linesperson signalled in.
So it's given Ivanovic a couple of break points here. And the confidence has totally evaporated. It's 4-3 now with a break to Ivanovic. And it's been a match of phases. The first phase was Ivanovic showing the solidity of her game against a rather nervous Peng, who lost that first set 6-2. And then played well to be 3-love up in this second set, but since then her total confidence has disappeared. Muttering away to herself there.
15 better.
No, it is just not happening for her today. So it's going to be a very unhappy birthday by the look of it. And an ace.
14 better.
A second. Just asking the umpire for confirmation. I think it was clearly out.
Well, did not miss by much, this shot. But Nolan Herfel was right on top of it. He would have seen it clearly.
Slightly mishit it, didn't she?
Net. First assist.
Instead of missing by a few centimetres, it's in by that margin. So she's still going for broke. That's very brave of her. And a break point. Urging herself on, knowing how close she is to victory here, having been love 3 and now 4-3 up. That's the time to keep the pressure on.
Advantage, Ivanovic.
It's very sad, this, really, because Peng is not showing us her true worth today.
Well, disappointing for her that she just can't find her range with those shots. Seen glimpses, but no consistency with it.
And again, not timing that. It was an excellent serve. Certainly makeable, that return.
5 games to 3.
Certainly Ivanovic, a very heavy hitter of the ball, and it is hard to settle in against someone who's putting a lot of pressure on you, keeping good depth and a lot of pace on it.
And the fans have their fans. They need them today. Oh dear. Keeps banging the strings of her racket as if the tension's wrong. Well, most of the players will have varying tensions. There's the sad tale of the unforced errors. 21 now.
15.
But they'll have rackets at varying tensions, and certainly in practice they will have decided what tension they require. Yes, annoyed with herself for a simple error. Well left. Well, it's not over yet. 5-4 though for Ivanovic, second set.
Ivanovic.
So here is Anna Ivanovic serving for the match. Well, good footwork, in fact, to get round to hit that forehand, but I think perhaps choosing the wrong shot. There was a big gap the other way. Well, I think that says it all, doesn't it? Every picture tells a story, and there's just no confidence in the racket today of Peng Shuai.
30-15.
An equally good footwork there from Pang. The forehand only possible by giving herself a little room. So after just an hour of play, it is match point. Well, I think rather sad that last year's semi-finalist, who played so beautifully then, should really not do herself justice at all. Peng Shuai, not the player she was last year, and Anna Ivanovic, absolutely worth her 6-2, 6-4 win in just over the hour. That has taken her through to a meeting against Amélie Mauresmo, the number 2 seed from France. But unquestionably, the number of unforced errors were largely responsible for Pang's inability to force a tighter match than it was. 17 from Ivanovic, that's rather too many as well. But she certainly improved her first service percentage up to 50 in the second set, Ivanovic, overall rather in the match. And 66% of those were won. 10 forehand winners, that was her big shot along with the serve. So there it is. It is Ivanovic through to a match against Mauresmo, 6-2, 6-4.